Good morning, everybody. How are things? Bright and early again, 6:45, just 6:45 at the moment. So we'll give it another minute and we'll begin from there. We've got our Pilates class this morning. Today's class, we're going to focus on, we'll get a warm-up done first, blood flowing. We'll start off before that even with just a little bit of activation work. Bit of a warm up, and then for the class then guys, we're going to focus on predominantly the legs and hips. So the moves that we have in today's class for the main body of work will be focusing on hips, legs, in around that area. So hope you enjoy it. To begin with, though, as I said, we'll start off as usual. We'll correct our alignment. We'll do a little bit of work on pelvic floor activation, and we'll bring in the TBAs as well. And after that's done, we'll get the blood flowing, and we'll move then into the main body of work, which will, again, as I said, predominantly be focused on the legs and hips today. Okay, so whatever mat you have, guys, again, if you don't have a mat, just make sure that whatever space you're working in is comfortable. You don't have to have a mat. Now, again, as you see, I have my mat. I have two mats crossed here. That is just so I might be changing my position in front of the camera, just so you can see a visual from the front and from the side. So you don't need a cross mat like I do. I just have two mats running in a cross form, just so you can see me from different sides, be it side view or front view. Okay. Okay. So again, today's class, guys, we'll try and be in around the 40-minute mark. And a tendency to let it run a little bit over time, but I'll try and keep it as close as we can to 40 minutes. Again, if you're tight on time this morning, you don't have to do the full 40. Again, just pop out whenever you need to. Okay, so let's get the clock started so keep in mind what we're doing in terms of time. Okay, so let's go into our alignment, guys. So looking for a neutral spine position, so a 50-50 position is what we call it. We're going to stand up with our feet hip width apart. So think the distance of your hips, place your feet the same distance. From there, grow the feet into the ground. So push the toes into the ground. Let the arches draw slightly off the ground. Pinch the mat together. Good stuff. From there, guys, fingers closed in together, palms opened up wide, thumbs wide. Right thumb finding the sternum, so the bottom part of the bony part of your breastbone. So just between your ribs there, find that sternum, find the bottom of your sternum, have your palm facing towards the floor, and then your left thumb finding your pubic bone. Both palms open wide facing the floor. And all you're going to do here is make sure that your top hand is stacked directly above your bottom hand. So again, this is just to make sure that we're in a nice straight position, that we're aligned properly before we go into our activation work. Good. So again, we can maneuver ourselves, guys, here by closing the rib cage down or by tipping from the hips. So imagine your hips are a bucket of water. Make sure that the bucket is sitting nice and straight. So if the bucket was full, no water would be spilling out the front. Hips are a nice neutral position, and from there, if our top hand is stacked directly above our bottom hand, we've no more changing to do. From there, we'll work on our activation. So right index finger finding your pubic bone, and then left index finger finding your tailbone. Again, this is the technique that I use, guys. So if you want to use it or want to use a different one, if you're used to Pilates, feel free to just work on that activation work now. Thinking about the space between your two index fingers, take a deep breath in, and to the exhale, you're going to imagine that space gently closing with a gentle squeeze. So deep breath in, exhaling out, engaging that pelvic floor, gentle squeeze, internal squeeze, hold the connection through the next inhale. Exhaling out, drawing together, and feel yourself being pulled up from the bottom. Deep breath in, hold that connection strong. Exhaling out, drawing together with a squeeze, lifting from the floor with a squeeze. So feel yourself grow a little bit taller on the mat. Through every inhale, hold the connection. Through every exhale, think about drawing together and lifting up from the bottom with that squeeze. Good strong standing position from here. From there, we're going to place our hands onto the bony part of our hips with our index fingers pointing towards our navel. From there, I want you to imagine shower doors closing. So take a deep breath in. Feeling a wraparound sensation. Gently draw the fingertips closer together. Again, feel the wraparound sensation here, like shower doors closing across. Deep breath in. Shower doors close across. TVA is locked in and wrapped around the body. Keep pushing the toes into the floor through the inhale. Through the exhale, drawing up from the bottom, engaging that pelvic floor. Feel it move through each rib, standing tall. We hold that connection strong as we bring our hands back down by our sides. We roll our shoulder blades back and down. We elongate the neck, we look straight through. And take our time just to focus on our breath and focus on those activations. So every time we take an inhale, we focus on pulling whatever connection we have. Through every exhale, we focus on drawing together and up and wrapping around. Just to feel yourself be more supported through this midsection, guys. Again, all internal squeeze. Glutes stay nice and quiet here, not fully squeezed. From there, guys, we'll move into our warm up. We're just going to do a quick flow, so roll up and roll down. So feet hip width apart again. We'll keep decent speed to this, guys, so we get the blood flowing. Let the body hang down towards the feet. Again, early morning, just wake the body up with a nice stretch here. Allow the body to hang towards the floor. We're taking 3 steps out the floor with our hands, bringing ourselves to a high plank position. Take 1 big step, 2 and 3 under the shoulders. Engage through that pelvic floor as we bring everything to neutral. Hands below shoulders, knees below hips. Hold the pelvic floor connected. Dropping the knees to the mat, dropping the chest to the mat. Point the toes back behind you. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale out, push the hands into the floor, keeping the hips on the floor, head in neutral. Take an extra breath. Inhale, bring yourself back to the floor. Turn the toes up into the mat, and as we exhale out, drop the head and chest down between the arms. And take a breath here too. Lifting the bum off the heels and knees off the ground through the inhale, and as you move into the exhale, push the heels back into the ground to lift the hips up nice and high. Let the head and chest drop between the arms. Reset back to our high plank position, once more engaging through that pelvic floor. And from there, we walk the hands 2 steps, 1, 2, back to the middle part of the body. And we once more let the body hang down towards the feet. From there, keep the chin tucked into the chest. We gently roll up into a stand, folding the body up. Head is the last thing to lift. And from there, we once more take a deep breath in, bring the hands up overhead. And exhaling out, let the body hang down towards the feet once more. From there, walking the hands off the floor, 3 steps, 1, 2, and 3. Engaging strong through the pelvic floor, hands below the shoulders. Gently lower the knees to the floor. Gently bend the elbows, lowering the chest to the floor. Point the toes back behind you once more. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale out, push the hands into the floor, keeping the hips down, head stays in neutral. Lifting that chest forward. Inhale, chest back to the floor. Turn the toes up into the mat. And as we exhale out once more, dropping back, sitting bones onto the heels. From there, lifting the bum off the heels and knees once more off the mat. Once more, hands below shoulders, engage through that pelvic floor, nice and strong. Keep the belly button pulled back towards the spine. From there, lift the hips high, push the heels back into the floor. Head and chest come down between the arms. So we're looking straight down towards the toes. From there, Bringing the hips down, back to that high plank position, hands below shoulders once more. Looking straight out over the top of your mat or over the tops of your fingers. Keeping strong engagement once more, again, to your pelvic floor. From there, bring right knee to the floor, follow with the left knee. From there, guys, we're just going to move into a gentle pigeon stretch. Again, just to start on our focus of today's class, again, the hips and the legs. Okay, so from there, we're going to bring that right knee in between the right and left hand. We're going to position the right foot below the left hand. So a gentle bend through that front knee. From there, we're going to walk back that left leg, placing where our lacer would be on our runner onto the floor. So point that toe back behind you. And from here, we're going to lift up, looking straight ahead. From here, what I want you to do is focus on slightly dropping that right hip a little bit more to the ground. So really sit down into the ground and the body melt into the mat. Feeling that stretch down to the outside of the right hip, maybe into the glute. So keep working down towards the mat, guys, as much as we can. Keep the back leg nice and long. Keep the heart center up, facing forward. From here, gently bend the elbows, let the body weight fall out over the top of the front leg, let the chest fall onto the upper leg. Once more, gently sitting that hip to the floor. Push the hand back into the floor once more, lifting the heart center to face forward. And we hold this position again. From there, just gently sit to the floor, turn the face side on so that you're not in the stretch. And from there, with your right foot, I want you just to move a little bit closer to the top of your mat. And so pointing back at an angle, but we have to straighten that angle up through the knee slightly. From there, take the body weight onto your right arm. Turn your face back forward once more. Once more, gently bend the elbows, let the body weight fall out over the top of the front leg. Keeping weight through the arms to protect yourself during the stretch. Lift the heart center to face forward once more. And again, we're trying to sink that right hip to the mat. Good. From there, sitting back, turning gently to the side, taking the angle out again. Once more, turn and reset forward. And from there, we'll bring that right leg back. Moving to the opposite side, so we'll bring that left knee up in between the right and left hand. And again, placing the left foot underneath the right hand. So again, you can stay in the same position you're in. And if you can look at the screen, you'll just see that my left foot is just below my right hand. So you can just see the coloring of my sock there. And from there, we'll crawl back that right leg. And from that position, we're just trying to sit that left hip towards the mat. Again, feel that nice stretch into the hip and into the glute. From there, bending the elbows, letting the body weight fall out over the top of the leg, relaxing the chest to the leg if we can. Once more, push the hands into the ground, heart center facing forward once more. Try to sink that left hip towards the mat. From there, body weight onto the left arm and side, turn and face. We're just going to tighten up or straighten up that angle on the front leg again. From there, we'll take ourselves to face forward once more. Holding that stretch. And from there, bending the elbows, letting the body weight fall out over the top of the front leg. Pushing the hands into the floor once more. And once more, trying to sit that left hip further down towards the mat, sinking down towards the mat. Lovely. From there, just sitting down, turn to face the side, taking the angle out of the foot, just again, so we are able to move out of position. From there, guys, we'll move to quadruped position, and we'll take our time to just get a nice mold on the spine. So molding out the spine with our cat-cow position. So from there, we've got a nice flat back. Knees are on the ground, shoulder width apart, hands the same, toes the same, turn into the mat. From there, tucking chin towards belt buckle, rounding up that back. And then sit the hips back, the head forward, rising up through the chest, and then pinch those shoulder blades back together. From there, curve through the back again. Dropping the head between the arms. Driving that chin towards the belt buckle. And once more, sitting the hips back. Lift the heart center to face forward. Hold the shoulder blades together. Creating a nice deep arch through the back. And from there, before we move on, just point the toes back behind you. Sit back onto the heels. Let the hands reach forward. Let the elbows sink to the floor. And if we can, we're just resting the head on the mat. Good job, guys. So from there, we're going to move into our quadruped position once more. So on all fours, hands below shoulders, knees below hips, toes turned up into the ground. Back nice and flat. So we're going to have ourselves in that 50-50 position to help you bring yourself into that position. Focus again on doing those cat-cows and then moving yourself into where you believe to be halfway between those two positions. Neutral spine, engaging through the pelvic floor again. So engage in that gentle squeeze. And from there, we're focusing on distribution of body weight between right and left side as we kick one leg back and behind. So starting off with the left leg, we exhale, move that left leg back. Inhale, bring the leg back in. To begin with, we can just slide the foot back the mat. Don't need to lift the leg actively. And what I want you to focus on is when you move the leg back, how do you distribute your weight through your right and left palm? So when you bring your right leg back, are you feeling all the body weight move on to that right palm? What I want you to do is try and keep equal weight through each hand. Engage the pelvic floor, and let that support your move as opposed to just leaning over to one side. To make it a little bit easier, you can take the leg off the ground. And to make it a little bit easier, it can be just a small slide or kick back. So we don't have to fully extend the leg back each time. Our focus of attention here is on keeping the hips as steady as we can. And by doing that, we'll in turn just make the move tougher. So what seems like a simple move when done correctly can be very challenging. Holding strong, that pelvic floor connection. Think about those TBAs wrapping around the body. Hold the belly button back towards the spine. Hold a good, strong center. It's our base of support here for the move. Three, two, and one. Good job, guys. Just again, sitting back onto the heels, taking the pressure off the hands. Okay, guys, from there, we're just going to transfer down onto the ground onto our side. We're going to move into our side leg series. Again, main portion of the class, or main portion of the class rather, is going to be the side leg series. Okay, so you're going to stay on your mat. I'm just going to change to a side view just so you can see how I angle myself, how I align myself on my mat. So we're going to move on to our sides, guys. So as comfortably as you can. Bring yourself into the middle of your mat. Okay, so making yourselves as straight as we can on our mat. So everything lined up nice and straight down through the mat. So from your ankle to your knee, to your hip, to your shoulder, to your head. It should be a nice straight line down through the mat. From there, we're going to bend the knees 90 degrees, a right angle bend through the knees. And when we do it, I want you to keep your ankles in line with your hips. So when you bend, your knees will come in front. So the knees will come to the front of the mat. Ankles are still below hips, which are still below shoulders and head. So head to shoulders to hips to ankles are all in a straight line. And then the knees are coming out in front at that 90-degree bend. Okay, so that's our alignment through there. So you're just holding that position. I'll change side view so you can see me as I move into the next part of the move. So again, lined up properly there. From there, when you're comfortable, just gently bring your hand out into straight and just using that arm as a cushion. Okay, so starting off here, we're going to use this top hand with the left index finger. We're just going to hold that in position on the bony part of the hip. It can be an index finger, it can be a thumb, whatever you want. All I want you to do is use this finger to see how much movement is going on through the hip as we actively lift and open the knee off the bottom knee. So what we're doing is clamping the feet together. We're going into our clamshell. We're exhaling. We're lifting the knee and then dropping down through the inhale. So holding a nice steady speed here. We'll all move at different speeds, guys, because we'll all move or breathe slightly different in terms of our speeds. So just opening and closing that knee. Now again, the reasoning for holding the finger to the hip is just to make sure that we feel as little or no movement underneath that finger as we can. So what we're trying to avoid feeling is that rock back sensation. Don't want you opening the hips out here to get extra range. I just want you opening and closing within your own range. So it doesn't actually matter how high you lift the knee. Most important thing is making sure there's no movement or compensation from anywhere else in the body. When you're comfortable, then you can place the palm or fingertips onto the ground in front of the chest. So we're exhaling, opening up, inhaling, bringing back down. Good. So with all these guys that we do, again, we want to focus on not trying to lift the leg or open the knee as high as possible, trying to keep everything as still as possible. So you're always saying no compensation. Don't feel the need to lift the leg really high. Hold that knee up, guys, and we'll hold that there. Okay? So from there, I want you to focus on that left knee and where it is in terms of the room. So we're holding that knee in the exact spot now. From there, we're going to lift the top foot off the bottom foot. Keeping the knee exactly where it is. Don't lift it or drop it. We're lifting up that top foot off the bottom foot. And in our highest point, we're looking for that type of position. And our knees at the same height. And our foot is lifted as much as possible while holding the knee at the same height. Close that leg or that foot back down. Drop the knee back down. Open up the knee. Hold it at its point. Pivot off the knee. Knee doesn't lift up or down. So we're just internally rotating through the hip. Feeling that pinchly outside the hip now. Holding that position. Holding that knee in position, start to lower the foot down. Start to lower the knee down. And again, lifting that knee up, holding in position. Gently pivot. Lifting the top foot off the bottom foot, holding that knee at the same height. Dropping back down once more, nice and slow. Dropping the knee down. We got 2 to go. Open that knee up. Hold that knee at the same height. Pivot off the knee. So we're nearly drawing a circle. Think of a compass. The knee is the needle on the compass, and then the foot just rotates around, drawing that circle around. Once more, knee down, and into our last one of these. Open that knee up, hold in position. Again, think of the compass. The knee is the needle on the compass, and we start to draw the circle. Knee stays in the middle of the circle. Hold that position. Drop the foot back down and drop the knee back down. Good. From there, we're going to straighten that left leg, guys. But when we do, we straighten and we let the leg relax over the bottom foot. So that the left leg is still within the width of our mat. Think about the width of your mat now. We're just going to begin to lift and drop that leg. And what I want you to focus on doing is imagine there is a wall directly in front of you to the front of your mat and a wall directly behind you. To make it more challenging, think about a narrower space you're working within. And you're just going to lift that foot up and down. Keep it moving straight up and straight down. So what you want here is you don't want your foot going any closer to the screen I'm on, or you don't want it moving any further away. So your foot doesn't move forward or back. It just goes straight up and straight down. Exhale, lifting the leg up. Inhale, dropping the leg down. And again, we don't want to focus on lifting the leg as high as possible here and changing our body position. We want to lift the leg just as much as we can within our own range. So the height of which we reach or lift is not important. Good. From there, guys, lift up that leg and hold. So we'll just hold that position. From there, our toe is pointing down to the wall below us. I want you to now turn the toe to face the screen or to face the wall that you're facing. So now the instep of your foot, from the inside of your big toe down to the inside of your heel, is parallel to the floor. Make sure the toe is not pointing up towards the ceiling, that it's looking at the wall that you're facing. Hold that leg high. Drop that leg down slowly. Lift that leg up once more. Not concerned with the height of which we lift. Hold that leg high. Gently lower down to the mat. We've got 3 to go. Once more, lift that leg up slowly. We hold for 6. We lower that leg down slowly. We've got 2 to do. We gently lift that leg up once more, feeling it pinch the outside of the hip. We gently lower that leg slowly. We've got 1 to do. We lift the leg once more. We hold in position. Make sure that toe is facing the wall in front of you and not the roof. Instep of the foot is parallel to the floor. We gently lower that leg down to the floor. We relax the leg fully, and just to take pressure off, just gently bring that knee in and back. Just relax that hip whatever way you need to. Again, outside the hip, they're doing a lot of work. Okay, again, guys, you can change over to the opposite side by just rolling around. But if you want to keep facing the screen, just suggest that you change to the opposite end of the mat. So take your time there, grab a drink of water if you need to before we move to the opposite side. Okay, straight on the mat again, guys. We're just going for 28 minutes there now. Straight on our mat once more. Ankles to knees to hips to shoulders to head. And again, as I did last time, let's bend those knees to 90 degrees. So once more, ankles to hips to shoulders to head, straight line down, and then slightly come front. And again, my knees and your knees will be bent to 90 degrees, so think of a right angle. So we should have a right angle through the legs. Okay, from there, guys, when you're comfortable, we're just going to lower down onto the mat. Again, just make sure that our top leg is the one that wasn't working the last time. Relax down, resting the head down onto the arms. Provide a cushion for yourself there, whatever way you want to. Feet are glued together, 90-degree bend through the knee. If you want to use that index finger, a point of reference here, just to help guide us through the move properly, we can. Finding the bony part of your hip, keep your feet, your socks glued together. From there, exhaling, lifting the top knee off the bottom knee, keep the feet glued together. Again, don't force it too much. Just begin to work and explore within your range. And again, don't feel that we have to open each side equally. We might find that one side's a little bit tighter, more locked than the other. So again, just go with how it feels. Again, as I've done there, if you're comfortable enough that you're doing the move properly, just place the index fingers or palm onto the ground. If you need to keep the focus on not rotating around, you can hold that index finger there and just feel, is there any movement happening below the index finger in that hip? Breathing here about 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out, and let the movement of your knee or leg or the movement of this clamshell exercise sink around your breath. So we'll hold that knee open and we'll begin to internally rotate the hip by, again, using that knee as the center of our circle, and we draw around that. So again, think of the needle of the compass. You're drawing a circle around. So hold the knee in position, lifting that top foot off the bottom foot. Hold the knee at the same point. Hold for a second at the top. From there, holding the knee in position. The right knee does not move up or down. Gently lower that foot down. Knee stays at the same height. So we end up drawing a little semicircle back down, foot to foot. Drop the knee back down to the knee. Open the clamshell. Hold the knee at its top point. From there, hold the knee in position, not going up or down with the knee. We begin to lift the top foot off the bottom foot. We hold that position. We drop the foot to the foot, the knee stays at the same height. We reconnect the knees, we close our clamshell. We exhale, we open our clamshell. From there, we begin to relax our breath as we move that foot around in a semicircle around the top knee. We hold that knee in position. We hold that position. We rotate around. We drop the top foot to bottom foot, and we close that clamshell. And one more, we open up that clamshell. We focus on the point of which the knee is at. We hold that knee in position. We gently circle around, rotate around. Feel that really work the outside the hip. We hold that foot in position. We hold the knee in position, locking everything in. We hold the knee at the same height. We begin to circle around, dropping that foot back down to the bottom foot. And we drop the knee onto the knee. Excellent. From there, we're going to reach those toes to the wall below us, straighten up that top leg. That top leg is relaxing down now onto the bottom foot. From there, the width of your mat, so your leg doesn't go any closer to the wall in front of you or any further away. It stays within the width of the mat. It moves up and down. Again, lifting the leg really high and lifting it about 3 or 4 inches off the floor is not going to matter much. Again, you're just working within your own range. What I want you to focus on here is not moving the foot forward or back, but straight up. Really focus on lifting the foot up a narrow gap or a narrow channel. We exhale, we lift the leg up. We inhale, we bring the leg back down. And we just explore what range we can get to here, guys, without compensating. So again, we feel that burn up the outside of the hip. If anybody needs extra rest, take your rest, your foot down on the ground. Anybody who is good to keep moving, keep that leg moving up and down, but in sync with the breath. Good. And on the next one, we lift that leg up and we hold. We hold the body steady. We hold that leg steady. Toes pointing down towards the wall below us. Now we're going to push the heel to the wall below us. So we turn that toe to face where we are looking straight ahead. The instep of the foot from the inside of the big toe down to the inside of the back heel are parallel to the floor. So the toe is facing straight ahead. It's not turned up towards the roof. So if we turn the toe up towards the roof, we'll start to activate muscles in the front of our leg as opposed to where we're burning up now, side of our leg. Keep the work coming from there. Gently lower that foot down to the ground. We've got 4 reps to do with a 6-second hold at the top. Lifting that foot up. Keep the toe pointing towards the wall in front, not veering towards the roof with it. Instep of the foot is parallel to the floor. We gently lower that foot back down to the floor. We exhale, we lift that foot up. We keep the instep of the foot parallel to the floor. Foot is not moving forward or back. It's still moving up and down as it did with the toe pointing to the wall below us. It's narrow channel moving up and down. We gently move that leg back down to the ground. 2 to go. We exhale, we lift that leg up. We feel it burn the outside of the hip. We hold it strong though. We lower that leg back down slowly. And we've got 1 rep to go. We exhale out. We lift that leg up. We hold in position. And we gently lower the leg back to the ground. And once more, as we did last time, guys, just bring that knee in and out. And just feel the relief through that side. Some good work done there on each side. And from there, guys, we're going to just gently roll onto our back. Feet placed flat on the floor, knees bent to 90 degrees. Head relaxed back on the mat, hands relaxed on the floor. Roll the shoulder blades back into the ground. Tailbone in contact with the mat, shoulder blades in contact with the mat. From there, we're going to bring our feet together. And from there, just gently let our feet fall away to the sides. So in our butterfly position, feet together, soles of the feet together, knees open up nice and wide. And just feel the release here through the hips. Good. So from here, guys, we'll do a couple of bridges, double leg in this position, this butterfly position. And we're going to finish with a couple of single leg bridges on each side. That'll bring us to the end of the class. Then we'll just roll back up into a standing position. From there, guys, we're going to push our feet into each other, gently lifting the hips up off the ground. So keep the knees nice and wide. Push the feet into each other. Lift the hips up off the ground. Good strong engagement to get into that pelvic floor. Tummy nice and tight. Pull the belly button back towards the spine. Keep the hips up nice and high. Keep the knees out nice and wide. Push the feet into each other. Allow the knees to fall away to the ground. So we're just opening those hips up. And all the time we're holding good engagement through the glutes and hamstrings on the backs of the legs. Push the feet into each other again. Feel the knees fall away to the ground as we push the feet in. Keep your breathing relaxed. Keep your body steady and try and hold your body from rocking. Once more for the last time, push the feet together, lifting the hips a little bit higher, allowing the knees again though to fall away. From there, gently return the hips back down to the ground. From there, once more, placing feet back down onto the ground. And from there, we're going to lengthen through the left leg. So pointing that left toe away to the wall below you. From here, we're going to do a round of single leg bridges. As we've done before, guys, if the single leg bridges are too tough, I want you to do 2 rounds of double leg bridges. So a double leg bridge is with 2 feet on the floor, and you're going to be moving up and down. For the single leg bridges, we're going to hold actively through that left-hand side. We're going to push the right foot into the floor. At our top position, our knees are side by side. At our bottom position, everything's resting on the floor. Okay, 20 seconds each side to finish off. So again, if 20 seconds is too tough, single leg, move to double, and we'll work from there. Ready to go. Good strong connection, energy down the leg, through the toes. From there, keep the leg at the same height. Don't actively lift that leg. Just push that right foot into the floor. Lifting the leg as much as it can. Exhaling, lifting up. Inhaling, coming back down. Try and have the heel and the glute touching the floor at the same time, coming back down. That left kneecap doesn't move any higher than the right kneecap. So we just push the right foot into the floor until the knees come side by side. We keep good strong energy down through that leg, so we're getting good work through that leg as well. That hip flexor actively holding that leg up, and hamstring on the right hand side, doing a lot of work to lift the hips up. Brilliant, guys. Keep going with that now. A few more reps to squeeze in. A little bit longer than 20 seconds. We go for the 40. Taking whatever time you need in recovery, with the hips and the leg resting on the ground. We get 2 more reps in, guys. 8 seconds to go. I'm relaxing down, bringing the left leg back in contact with the floor. Feet are side by side, and then lengthen through the right foot this time. Point the right toe away. Energy down from the right shoulder to the right toes. Strong through that right hip. From there, push the left into the floor. Bring right and left kneecap side by side. Lowering that leg back to the floor. Trying to have heel and glute touch the floor at the same time. As we lift the hips as well, keep them nice and steady. So at the top, nice straight line through the hips. Also looking for a nice straight line from knee to hip to shoulder on that left hand side. Halfway through, guys. 20 seconds gone. 20 seconds to go. Hold balance through the hips. Again, left leg doing a lot of work to lift. Right leg is not lifting. It just stays connected. So good strong energy running down from that right shoulder to the right toes. 8 seconds to go, and again we'll squeeze 2 more in. And relaxing down. Good, guys. From there, straighten both legs. From there, we're just going to roll all the way around onto our front. We'll begin into our stretch. Point the toes into the ground. Push the hands into the floor. Lifting up that chest. Keeping the hips down on the ground. Good, chest back to floor once more. Turn the toes up into the mat. And we'll sit back onto the heels. Drop the chest down nice low. From there, bum up off the heels, knees up off the mat. And from there, lift the hips high, push the heels back into the floor. Drop the head and chest down between the arms, looking down toward the toes. Push those hands into the floor. Try and push those heels towards and closer to the ground. Reset. Bringing hands one more below the shoulders. Strong engagement through that pelvic floor. And we're going to go with 2 big steps up, guys, with our hands to the middle part of our body. Let the body hang down toward the feet. Looking between the legs. From there, roll the chin into the chest. Let the upper body fully switch off and hang to the floor. Keep the legs as straight as possible. Bringing the hands onto the legs. Gently slide the hands up the legs, but keep the chin tucked into the chest. Head is the last thing to lift. Bring the shoulders back to square, roll them back and down. Lifting the head up nice and tall, palms facing forward, neck elongated, looking straight through. Root the feet down into the ground once more. We take a deep breath in. And exhaling out. And done. Thank you very much again, guys. Hope you enjoyed the practice this morning. Good early start for you. Have a great day. Thanks very much, Lisa, for joining in. Hope you all enjoyed it, guys. Have a great day for yourselves. And we'll see you again tomorrow, hopefully. Thank you.